Hello, my love. Welcome back to The Alchemist's Way. We are diving into your authentic voice in this video. Stop trying to sound smart. Start sounding like you. How would you say something? How would you teach something? How would you talk about something? So let's break down the different pieces of really using your authentic voice to make it make sense on a deeper level. And if you don't know who I am, hello, my love. My name is Reilly X. I am a professional astrologer, tarot reader, and human design reader. And I use these tools to help highly sensitive people learn to trust themselves in a system that was not made for them. Okay, so what I'm about to teach you is how to trust your authentic voice, how you're meant to show up authentically, speaking your truth. How are you meant to say something? Because I'm a Sagittarius Mercury, so sometimes I'm a little spicy. Okay, if you're a Taurus Mercury, you're gonna be more calm, you're gonna be softer, you might even sound a little slower. So understanding your Mercury sign is really where we need to start. Mercury is the planet of communication. It is the planet that rules our mind as much as it is the planet that rules how we speak, how we express our thoughts. A large majority of people running a business now have to have social media. You have to have social media, right? So how do you communicate? How do you speak? Gemini energy has the advantage on social media. I'm a Gemini rising. I have had many people come to me and they're like, how do you make content like that? How do you talk like that? Girl, I could talk for fucking hours, honestly. But the real challenge is, what are we talking about? Right? Where are we leading people? What are we talking about? So your Mercury placement really shows you how you speak. As a Sagittarius Mercury, I speak very fluidly. I talk from lived experience, right? I'm teaching you a journey. I'm teaching you a pathway. I'm showing you exactly how I do it in order for it to make sense for you. But the next step to this Mercury placement is, which house is it in? Okay, mine is in the 7th house. The 7th house is close personal relationships. It's partnerships. It can be business partnerships. So learning to communicate what you offer, how you offer it, is something I specialize in. Helping people communicate how they can connect to people. So really understanding your Mercury, what house it's in, starts to unravel what you can talk about and what is the easiest thing for you to talk about, right? For me, my lived experience of getting clients. I'm going to stop right there because we can go so much deeper, but once you get your Mercury placement, you understand your Mercury placement, it's really important to understand your throat energy center in human design. So do you have a defined throat or do you have an undefined throat? If you have a defined throat, conversation, communication is going to flow. It's going to be easier to say the things that you want to say. Depending on which channel is activating your throat makes a whole nother level of understanding. But with a defined throat, you're meant to be consistent. You're meant to say the same thing, talk about the same thing, really have a rhythm and pretty much stick to one topic. Now, I'm a good example. It's really, my overarching theme is, how do you live a better life? How do you explain how confusing life is? Tarot, astrology, human design, regulating your emotions, feeling safe in your body. So it is one overarching conversation in a million different categories. But let's say you have an undefined throat, right? An undefined throat can be a really tricky little slippery slope on over explaining yourself, feeling a little lost on how you're supposed to say it and when you're supposed to talk. And if someone is not really receiving the information that you're talking about, just kind of talking in circles, hoping at some point they're going to give you something to feel like it's making sense. But I've noticed people with an undefined throat tend to be incredible listeners. So when you realize the undefined throat may mean you're not really supposed to be speaking so much as receiving the information, digesting what your client is telling you, what people are telling you, and learning to use that to your advantage, not speaking in circles until something clicks. Now, if you really want to understand this, check where your Mercury gate is in your human design. You can check your conscious gate as well as your unconscious gate. And this takes it even further. It takes it deeper into, what do I do? How do I communicate? What is the thing that helps me express myself the most clearly? So, to put this all together, to make it make sense, if you have a defined throat, you're pretty much going to say a very similar thing. You're going to find something and stick to it. If you have an undefined throat, you're going to probably need to play around with the energy of the room more so than just saying the same thing every time. But besides that, really look into your Mercury placement, where it is in your chart, what house it's in. Are there any other planets? Are there any other signs? You can always book a session with me to really deep dive into this and see how this energy is impacting you. And I want to give you a challenge with this video. I want you to look at your chart, look at your Mercury sign. What house is it in? Do you have any other planets or placements or anything else going on? And I always like to look at whole sign because it makes things much more simple. If you like Placidus, okay, to each their own. Whole sign makes it much more simple. And create a sentence with your Mercury sign, right? Say something like, it's easy for me to talk about blank. For me, it's easy for me to talk about philosophy, Sagittarius Mercury. It's easy for me to talk about my lived experience. It's easy for me to talk about how I connect with others, how I try to express myself in a way that makes sense to others. Then if you're not sure yet, we can absolutely work on that in the Alchemist's Way embodied. But if you can, who do you help? And how does this Mercury placement really help you understand how you could communicate to them? So for example, I help highly sensitive people learn how to show up for themselves in a world not really built for them and learn to create something sustainable. But I can speak to the experience of struggling with trying to keep a job, trying to regulate my emotions, struggling with anxiety, depression, neurodivergence that I didn't know I had. There are so many things that I have lived through building a business. Building a business and trying to figure out, like, how do you actually speak to people in a way that makes sense? These are all things that I can tie back into my Mercury placement alone. I hope this video is helpful, and if you are ready to truly embody the Alchemist's Way, check out my offer through the link below. I am running a 3-month coaching program, truly helping you align with this energy and learn to be the best version of yourself so you can create something sustainable even in these chaotic times. I'm proud of you. Keep going. Let me know if you need help. Bye.